Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I want to be talking about my thoughts on dishonest vegans and the FISHGATE scandal that's been going on recently on YouTube. So let me start this off by saying that I 100% understand that nobody is perfect. Even I'm not perfect. There is no perfect vegan. That's the entire point of veganism, because by definition it is a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as is possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So in other words, complete and total veganism is not possible outside of some dream world. And as hard as you try, you will still end up involuntarily contributing to animal cruelty or animal products, production of animal products, whatever, such as, rubber in your car tires, or buying food from a grocery store that also sells meat and dairy products. So I say all this to acknowledge the fact that non-vegans and even those within the vegan community will call people out for being imperfect, which I use the phrase call people out lightly because it's more like harassing. So this is not a video of me saying how perfect I am and all that nonsense, and there are some animal products that are unavoidable. However, I am talking about the ones that are avoidable. You're not going to accidentally eat fish or eggs, or whatever else that people seem to think is vegan these days. In case you didn't know, fish are not vegetables, they are animals. It's not unavoidable. If you go to a restaurant and you order a salmon fillet, guess what you're going to get? A salmon fillet. And what is salmon? And a fish. And what is a fish? Say it with me, an animal. So recently on the YouTube space, there have been a number of ex-vegan creators coming out as saying they're not vegan, or people being caught eating meat and proclaiming to be vegans. And some of these people were instrumental to my personal vegan journey. I would watch their videos before or right at the beginning when I was going vegan to get like recipe inspiration or like lifestyle kind of stuff. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to give anybody free promo. I'm also not intending to slander or bash anybody with this. I just want to give them a plea to do better and a testimony to you guys that these people don't represent the majority of us. Ultimately, your lifestyle and your diet is up to you, and I can't do it for you, and neither can they. So let me explain a little bit why I think that these people have failed at or have given up on veganism. The common denominator between them is mostly, I'm not going to say 100%, but most of them is that they have been on some kind of crazy restrictive fad diets like mono meals or like water fast or something like that, essentially starving themselves of the proper nutrients that they need. Even for somebody who is a junk food vegan like myself, it's not hard to get your proper nutrients on a vegan diet. I would have, if I needed to be deficient in something, I would have to proactively do it. Like I don't even have to think about it because it's so easy. And nutrient deficiency does not happen overnight. If you skip one meal of meat, you're not going to die of protein deficiency. That's just not how it works. So like I said, being a vegan with a well-balanced diet is not difficult by any stretch of the imagination. These people have starved themselves on these crazy diets, and then they blame it on the lack of meat because after eating meat, they felt normal again. This is something psychological because they've associated in their mind that they were only sick after they stopped eating meat. And not because they spent the last 2 years surviving solely on bananas and drinking their own urine. And I wish I was kidding about that last part. It's just frustrating to me that these people know better. They know that you can survive off of a vegan diet. They know the magnitude and the severity of climate change that's happening from animal agriculture. They know how many animals are being slaughtered every second for meat. They know about ocean dead zones and how few years that we have left before all the fish in the oceans are completely dead. How can they possibly know all of this, make the change, and convince thousands of others to make the change with them, and then all of a sudden decide to turn back on it? It's one thing for a non-vegan to start out slowly, cutting out meat, doing meatless Mondays, or cutting out red meat, and then white meat, and then, just baby steps. That's fine. I'm not going to judge anybody for doing that because I know everybody's different. You can't quit. Some people can't do things cold turkey, but I'm one of those people who has to do things cold turkey. I can't just slowly taper off. I have to just stop. So, but I'm not going to judge anybody else for trying to do that. However, that's not the situation that we have right now. That is that these people have been vegan, but they decided not to be anymore. So when somebody who has been vegan, they willingly and unapologetically go backwards on it, it does not help the movement. What this is doing is showing non-vegans that a healthy vegan diet is impossible and unattainable, and that's simply not true. You don't have to do mono meals, you don't have to only eat raw foods, you don't have to drink your own pee, for goodness sake. Please don't. I and countless others have lived for over 5 years with no nutritional issues to speak of on a vegan diet and are perfectly fine. I know people who have been vegan for over 10, sometimes 20 years, no problems whatsoever. So it's totally achievable to be vegan and possible to be healthy. And I don't find eating as a vegan to be any more difficult than somebody with like some kind of dietary allergy would have. And all it takes is reading labels and asking questions. So I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I wanted to express my grievances about this. On a side note, I'm a closeted conspiracy theorist, and through my tinfoil hat, I can hear the sound of fat checks being cashed as these people were being paid off by some big meat company to denounce veganism. Just my conspiracy, allegedly. Big meat and big dairy are always trying to take us down, and it won't work. So we're still going to call it almond milk and soy milk and oat milk and cashew milk and rice milk and hemp milk and on and on. What it boils down to is that I strongly believe that a vegan would not ever go back to eating meat, eggs, or dairy. And once again, I can't stress this enough, fish is meat. It's very clear to me and many others that a lot of the most famous vegans were just in it for the money because veganism is growing so fast. So some of the top vegan creators on YouTube were making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off of this. So whether you're vegan or not, please know that this is not what veganism looks like. It's not about perfection, it's not a test to see who's the best vegan, it's about the animals and the environment and your health. And fish are not swimming vegetables. Okay, bye. So that was it for this video. Let me know what you think. I wrote that the other day when I was watching some of these videos about all these people that were like all of a sudden out of nowhere being exposed for not actually being vegan. And my favorite ones have been from Freely. I missed the good old Freely videos. So go check out hers. Actually, I watched, this was several months ago. I missed the video somehow, but she was talking about Steve-O, and I used to watch, Steve-O is the only one that I'm going to mention by name, but she was talking about his video, and she was like yelling about fish not being swimming vegetables, so that's where I got that idea from. So go check out, if you're a vegan and you haven't checked out Freely's videos, I know a lot of people don't like her, but she does a lot of good for the environment. She's all about how it's not about her and the fame, it's about getting the message out, and she certainly has had a lot of views on her channels, and she's getting the message out there. So that's about it. Let me know what you think about this topic, if you're vegan or not. I'd love to hear your opinion either way, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.